that needed screening, and therefore the party had given him waiver to come and start following. In other words, he has been declared and cleared as the candidate of the PDP for the presidential election, and that is President Jonathan. One from Delta and co. So our committee is on. Anytime the other people within the screening period, we will continue the screening exercise and passing people. We are very happy that even those who have been attempting to kill the party cannot succeed, and the party will contest this election by the grace of God and by the Constitution of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's not like I left the Labour Party. The Labour Party went into extinction, in 35 of the 36 states, in Nigeria. You will recall that only recently the National Convention of the Labour Party was held, and motions were taken dissolving all the state chapter of the party. So as it is today, I cannot say clearly, constitutionally, that there's a Labour Party chapter, in Delta State. So it went into extinction. Hence, I took the decision that the PDP is the best of all the opposition, parties that we have in Nigeria today, either by the sincerity of purpose, like in one instance again, the current Labour Party as it is, they are going to adopt the sitting president. Me, I don't see the rationale why I will be an opposition party and I will adopting the sitting president of the ruling party. Then the reasons for being opposition is no longer, tenable. So PDP is the most stable of all the political parties, and in fact is the oldest, and the time PDP actually managed this country, we recorded tremendous successes, one, in the growth of democracy, two, economy. We were the giant of Africa in economy at that time. The security was not as challenging as it is, today. So if we reminiscent on the past of PDP and that we have the current one today, PDP is the best, and I think all Nigerians, including myself, we have no reason, than to join the PDP to see how best we can salvage the situation from how we see it today.
Every time there's improvement. Last time we were able to secure 2 members of House of Reps and some members of House of Assembly, compared to before, where we don't get anything. And people are getting agitated and they are being educated.
It will not be the first time I'll be aspiring, I did try in 2022 and came first runner-up. This time around, the mistake that was made, or the few losses in terms of votes that I encountered in 2022 will not be repeated. I will deliver that for you people. I will deliver that for Nigeria, and particularly to the good people of Kebbi State. Now, to the second arm of the question as to what my programs would be. First, as you can see, I'm a relatively young man. I connect very well with the critical stakeholders of this country, that's the youth, whose future has been jeopardized, as it were, by the powers that be. Over the years, and this has been decades ago, what you hear is that the youths are the future of tomorrow. And if I have transited from that youthfulness to be an adult, now a full adult, I think I'm not too old relative to some of our people who come to aspire for governor. And I've connected as an activist way back in school. I've always been in liberation struggle, and I do know quite sincerely that I understand the worries and the trouble confronting our people. First of all, for my state of Kebbi, security is top on my agenda. Suffice to say, every one of you is following events in this country. You know that Kebbi has been bedeviled by insecurity, one of the flashpoints in the country, as it were. Now, it's been a very critical situation for those of us living there and for my people in particular. And I come, incidentally, from that part of the world where the security is topmost, insecurity rather. So it's naturally supposed to be the major problem in the aspiration of everyone. Now, secondly, is the economy. The untold hardship in the land, frightening insecurity, and this economic downturn that the country is contending as a result of this clueless and inept administration of the APC, not just at the national level, but in these individual states that my state of Kebbi is belonging. So certainly, economy would be one of the issues to follow suit after insecurity. And then thirdly, it will be youth empowerment and employment. Critically tied to the issues of insecurity is unemployment. And I've looked at it as someone who has also found himself narrowly out of the other side of the divide. I would certainly look at unemployment as a trouble that everyone among us here will appreciate, and then confront it head on by devising agricultural reform and economic skills that our people will be able to depend on themselves. The youth are productive, committed, determined, focused, and willing to go back to the farm. You, of course, can train them internationally and locally by providing scholarship for them and skills acquisition so that they would be independent. Government cannot be and will never be in the position to satisfy all. So it's all behoven on anybody who has this youth at heart to begin to think of ways of innovating skills so that they will be productive on themselves and they will be dependent on themselves. Either with government or not, they will be able to stand and compete favorably with their contemporaries everywhere in the world.
I've run before. I believe that this is the right time for me. And I have a love for our people, especially, we are agrarian states, and believing that getting into government house, I should be able to pull my people out of poverty, especially engaging agriculture, and also in area of healthcare delivery. And I know the security challenge of this country, having the right people at the center and also at the middle, collaborating together, working. That security is not an individual of a team; it's a collective. Both the community and the people who are in government and people who are not in government, working together to see our country secure, our state secure, enable them to be able to go to their farms and come back, enable people to go to do businesses and come back. Nobody will be afraid of doing business. And Taraba is seriously, God has given us everything. And what we need is to get the right people to positions to do the needful for our people. If you talk of soaring minerals, we are the best. If you talk of, that this Mambila Hydro, which can take care of this country with this electricity we are having. Having a good leadership.
Now? Okay. Good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The former chairman
is contesting for the governorship of Oyo State. Thank you very much.